Oh, all right. So we're diving into a really fascinating bit of Viking history today, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely, Athena. We are talking about, the Battle of Svolder. And it's not just any battle, it's like the dramatic downfall of a king, King Olaf Tryggvason. September 1000 AD, Western Baltic Sea. Pivotal naval engagement.
Wow. Okay, so 1000 AD. That's proper Viking Age stuff, isn't it? But you said the precise date? It's a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, it's a bit fuzzy, isn't it? Like, some sources say September 9th, others say the 10th or 11th, and honestly, some historians even think it might have been 999 AD because of, how they reckoned years back then. The location too, Svolder itself, it's kind of disputed. Adam of Bremen, he put it in the Öresund, but then Icelandic sagas mention this unknown island. Could be near Rügen or Slavia, it's a bit of a mystery.
So a major event, but the details are a bit lost to time, which I guess is pretty typical for the period, right?
Exactly. It makes it all the more intriguing, doesn't it? Like, you have this massive clash, but the map reference is, well, it's a bit vague. But the consequences, they were absolutely concrete, shaping the whole Scandinavian political scene.
Okay, so who were the big names involved here? Who was Olaf up against?
Right, so Olaf Tryggvason, King of Norway, he's our central figure. And he's facing a truly formidable alliance, Athena. You've got King Svein Forkbeard of Denmark, a big deal, obviously. Then King Olaf Skutkonung, also known as Olaf the Swede, so the King of Sweden. And then, crucially, Jarl Erik Hakanason of Lade. He was a hugely powerful Norwegian earl, a local rival, really. So it's Norway against Denmark, Sweden, and a disgruntled Norwegian earl. Stacked odds,
Yeah, that sounds like a real setup. So what actually caused all this? What were the deep-seated issues that led to such a massive battle?
Well, you've hit on it, haven't you? It was a culmination of really deep political and religious tensions. Olaf was quite aggressive, actually, in trying to unify Norway and convert everyone to Christianity. And, that really challenged the old pagan traditions and Danish overlordship in some Norwegian areas. His expansion into Viken, which was Danish territory, totally riled everyone up.
Ah, so he was like pushing boundaries, literally.
Exactly. And personal stuff too. And his marriage to Fiery, Svein Forkbeard's sister, caused more grief when Svein wouldn't pay her dowry. So loads of, personal and political grudges bubbling up.
Oh, so he's got all these enemies, he's made all these powerful people quite cross. How did he actually end up in this ambush situation?
Oh, this is where it gets really juicy, So Olaf, he's coming back from an expedition in Wendland, which is modern-day Pomerania. And he's sailing home completely unaware, so he thinks, into this meticulously planned ambush. And the sagas, they suggest he was actually deceived by a supposed ally, this guy named Sigvaldi. Sigvaldi, you see, convinced Olaf to send most of his fleet, home, thinking everything was fine, leaving him with a tiny force, right? Only 11 warships against an allied fleet that was estimated to be at least 70 strong. I mean, talk about being led into a trap, eh?
Oh, that's just brutal. So he's totally outnumbered, massively outmatched because of his deception. What was he thinking, sending his ships away?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? He trusted Sigvaldi, and Sigvaldi clearly had other plans. It just shows you how intricate these Viking Age political games could be, It's not just about brute force, it's also about manipulation and betrayal. And Olaf, for all his ambition and ferocity, clearly misjudged his allies there. It was a fatal miscalculation, really, leaving him incredibly vulnerable.
So Olaf's there, outnumbered, suddenly surrounded. What does he do? Does he just, give up?
No, absolutely not. This is King Olaf Tryggvason we're talking about, right? He's not just going to roll over. He adopts a really clever defensive tactic, very common for the era, actually. He lashes his ships together side to side, forming like a proper floating fortress. Imagine that, you know? His famous flagship, the Ormen Lang, that's the Long Serpent, this massive warship, it's positioned right in the middle of this line with its bows projecting out. It's brilliant, really, because it allows his crew to fight collectively, and it totally limits the enemy's ability to use their superior numbers against him, initially anyway.
Wow, that's a smart move. So the initial attacks, they were probably pretty fierce then.
Oh, incredibly fierce. The Danish and Swedish fleets, they attacked first, and they were reportedly repulsed with heavy casualties. Olaf's men, they were fighting for their lives, clearly. But it was Jarl Erik Harkonarsson, you know, the disgruntled Norwegian earl we mentioned, his ship, the Iron Ram, that proved to be the decisive factor. Erik, he attacked Olaf's flank, forced his vessel against the last ship in Olaf's line, and then systematically he just cleared Olaf's ships one by one with these really fierce attacks until only the Long Serpent remained. It was a methodical dismantling, really.
So Erik just systematically takes them apart until only Olaf's flagship is left. What happens then? Did he survive?
Right, so ultimate, decisive allied victory. All of Olaf's ships are captured. But his fate, Athena, this is where it gets really, really interesting and kind of shrouded in legend. Danish sources, like Adam of Bremen and Saxo Grammaticus, they claim he committed suicide, threw himself into the sea, full armor, chose death over capture. Very dramatic, right?
Oh, a proper Viking hero's ending then.
Yeah, exactly. But then, the Norwegian and Icelandic sagas, they offer completely different, much more, favorable narratives. Some suggest he escaped, maybe in a flash of light, or swam to shore, or was even rescued by Wendish ships. And the rumors, they persisted for ages. Some tales even put him in monasteries or the Holy Land decades later. So it's not a clear-cut, he died here scenario at all.
That's wild. So nobody really knows what happened to him. But Norway, it definitely changed after the battle, right?
Oh, absolutely. Norway was totally carved up. Svein Forkbeard got Viken, Olaf Skutkonning got parts of Trondheim and Mora, which he then gave to Jarl Svein Hakonisson. And Erik Hakonisson, he ended up controlling the rest of Norway, but as a vassal to Svein Forkbeard. So Olaf's reign was over, his forced Christianization efforts too. But, Christianity still spread anyway later on. It was a massive power shift.
So this battle really cemented some big changes, didn't it? It wasn't just a skirmish, it was a real turning point.
Totally, Athena, totally. It's like the end of Olaf Tryggvason's specific approach to unifying and Christianizing Norway. While he failed, the general trend of Christianization, it just continued. And Svolder, it stands out as this incredible example of the intense power struggles, the constantly shifting alliances during the Viking Age. It absolutely influenced the political landscape for years to come, setting the stage for future conflicts like battles of Nessiar and Stiklestad. It's truly a crucial moment in that transition from a pagan warrior culture to, established Christian kingdoms with proper centralized authority. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like a really significant hinge point then. But you also mentioned earlier that the sources, the sagas and such, they're not always super reliable on the exact details.
That's the kicker, isn't it? The most detailed accounts, the King sagas, they were written 2 centuries later. So they're more literary, more heroic, less about strict historical accuracy and more about glorifying the past. Still, the impact was undeniable.
Fascinating stuff, Odysseus. Absolutely fascinating. What a story. So it's clear the sagas themselves are quite dramatic. Have any modern fiction stories really drawn direct inspiration from the Battle of Svolder or Olaf's mysterious fate?
That's a fantastic question, Athena. While you won't find like a direct, explicit Svolder, the novel, by a major modern author, the essence of Svolder definitely echoes through a lot of historical fiction and even fantasy. Think about it. The ultimate last stand against overwhelming odds, a charismatic leader facing betrayal, and then that legendary, ambiguous disappearance. It's pure narrative gold.
So it's more about the tropes and themes rather than a direct retelling then?
Precisely. It's the archetype. Any story featuring an outnumbered hero, desperately defending their ship or stronghold against a vengeful alliance, or a king whose fate is shrouded in mystery, they're all tapping into that very same wellspring of dramatic tension that Svolder epitomizes. Many Viking-themed sagas and novels, even those not directly about Olaf, subtly reflect this kind of epic, tragic confrontation. It's the enduring power of a legend, you know?
That makes so much sense. So the mythology of Svolder, more than its precise history, becomes the inspiration.
Absolutely. It's the powerful emotional core, the what if of Olaf's vanishing, that truly fuels the creative imagination. It ensures Svolder's legacy continues, not just in history, but in storytelling.
That's such an interesting take, Odysseus. How the legend overshadows precise history. It almost makes me think of completely different kinds of enigmatic figures. Like, is King Olaf comparable to someone as, well, unlikely as the Phantom of the Opera?
Oh, Athena, that's a truly inspiring, almost wonderfully bizarre leap, but I love it. When you consider Olaf's vanishing act, the unconfirmed fate, the lingering rumors of his survival, there's definitely a shared thread. Both figures become these elusive, almost ghostly presences who simply refuse to be contained by a clear-cut ending.
Right. I mean, obviously, completely different worlds. A Viking king versus a masked genius in a Parisian opera house, but the mystery surrounding their final moments, that's quite potent for both, isn't it?
Absolutely. They both embody this powerful what if. Olaf disappearing into the sea or to the Holy Land, the Phantom, a whisper in the shadows, his ultimate fate unknown. It's that enduring ambiguity, that sense of a presence that never quite leaves the stage or the historical record, that links them, despite the vast cultural chasm.
So it's the power of the unanswered question then that keeps both of them alive in the collective imagination, whether it's saga or novel.
Precisely. They transcend their initial narratives to become these archetypal figures of the lost or hidden, forever captivating, forever just beyond our grasp. It's the ultimate creative spark for future stories.